Hello, assalamu alaikum, Khalid bhai. How are you?
I am fine, thank you.
So as we discussed before, today we will host a mock interview session for software engineer trainee or junior position. So let's give our introduction first. I am Said Rahman. I am currently working as a software engineer in Welldev. I have almost 3 years of job experience here. So can you introduce about yourself?
Assalamu alaikum. I am Khalid Abdullah, currently looking for my first opportunity as a junior software engineer, and I have completed my graduation a few months back.
Sorry. So if I ask you that what are your strengths? Why do you think you are a good fit for a software engineer position?
Well, if I give some introduction or a background story about myself, I have been coding for around 3 or 4 years, around 3.5 years, and uh, and if I'm very honest about it, and if I don't become software engineer or pursue my career as software engineering in the field of software engineering, I will still be writing codes and I think it will be a good choice if I convert this hobby of coding, building projects into my career. So this is that's why I think it will be a good fit for me to
Okay,
choose
thank
it
you,
as a
bhai.
career.
So I saw in your CV that you have attended ICPC or NCPC contests. So can you tell a short story about your ICPC journey?
Yes, ICPC is one of the most prestigious contests that I have been able to participate in my career, in my short career. I uh, got into university in 2020. From there on, I had the opportunity to participate in the ICPC Preely for 4 times, and I have made it to the ICPC regionals 3 years for 3 times, which is an honor for me to be able to represent my university to the national stage. And uh, besides this, I am, we were the only team to participate in the regionals for consecutive 3 years. And I mean, from my beginning of my university life to the end, uh, uh, my team was one and only team to be able to participate in all the three contests. So it is a privilege for me and an honor for me to represent my university in the national stage.
Okay, that is a good achievement. So now we can start the technical questions. So are you good in object-oriented programming? Do you have any idea about it?
Yes, I do have idea about object-oriented programming,
So,
though I don't have much experience as far as implementation of object-oriented programming in the projects. So,
okay,
but
so
I have,
can you explain the basic
yes,
idea about the pillars of object-oriented programming? If you want, you can give real-life examples.
sure. So, can I use the doc to write some code so that I can explain it better?
No, you can just tell to me in 1 or 2 lines. No detailed explanation is needed.
Okay, right. So, okay. That. So the basic four pillars of object-oriented programming are abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. So let me give a brief introduction about all the four terms. So abstraction is basically hiding the implementation details from the user. For example, we in JavaScript we use math.floor, math.sail. So what it does is when we use sail or floor, it does a particular job. and it gets our work done. But we don't know what is going on behind the scenes. We don't know how it is executing the sale or flow. This is done through abstraction, which means it hides the implementation from us and we only get the result, not the implementation details. This is called abstraction. And then it comes encapsulation. So encapsulation is when we are hiding, we have to implement it, right? I mean, it is not something like magic. We have to implement the variables, the functions, which will be used to implement, and after that we can abstract it or give the end result to the user. So when we bind those variables with functions or methods, it is done by using encapsulation. And then we come to the third point, which is, I mean, polymorphism. I mean, inheritance. Then we'll come to
Okay,
polymorphism.
Khalid bhai,
So as
you don't have to tell about polymorphism and inheritance. I have more questions from abstraction and encapsulation. So
okay, sounds
did you use public, private, these keywords? Did you learn about this?
yes, I
So these are
yes,
related
I
to
did.
abstraction or encapsulation.
These are more related to abstraction.
Okay.
Encapsulation is more related to binding the variables, methods, and abstraction is basically the hiding part.
Okay. So did you studied about interface abstract class in C or Java or C++?
No,
Okay.
no, I haven't heard about.
So we can go to our next topic. I think you are good in data structures and algorithms, as you have done ICPC. So do you know the
Yes, I
difference between array and list? Like how is the time complexity of array and list different for different operations?
list. I mean linked lists.
Yes, you can say between array and linked list.
Okay, can you repeat the question once more? Mm,
Difference between array and linked list in terms of time complexity and different operations.
Okay, in terms of time complexity. Okay, so in array, what happens is uh, the orders of the elements are uh, more of a linear structure. I mean, you can use the indexes to uh, get the values. But when it comes to linked lists, an application are accessing the values through linked lists, the it is not a linear data structure. It allocates different memories for different values, and we get the values through pointers. So you the question you asked, what is the difference of time complexity, right?
Yes, time complexity. Like this,
Are you
what?
talking about traversing the linked list or traversing the array?
Yes, traversing the linked list or traversing the array or accessing any element in array or linked list.
Okay, I think you are asking the access because when it comes to traversing array or linked list, as far as my knowledge, both are same. But when it comes to accessing a particular value, the 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 implementation of the array data structure comes handy because when it comes time complexity, the array gives you O of big O of one complexity, whereas in linked list you get the complexity of big of n. So in this particular case, array is more beneficial because you can access the value in O of one type by accessing the index of the value.
So let's say there is a linked list, and how will you identify that the linked list is circular or not?
Okay, circular or not. So if the very last element of the, I think if you know the last element, then you can just simply check if the last element is connected or pointing to another value or not. And if you don't know the whether which one is the last element or so on, if you cannot access the memory value or something like that, you can check if there are two elements. Because when it comes to normal linked list or a circular linked list, the normal linked list which will have a starting value and an
Okay.
ending value, which
Let's say
means
I
the
have
starting value.
let's say I have only given you the one node of a linked list, and you have to tell it is circular or not.
Only one node,
Because you are only given one node as the starting point.
and I have to tell,
It is circular
okay,
or
then
not.
I will be checking whether it is pointing to something or not. If it is pointing to something, if it is pointing itself, then it is a circular, and if it is not, then it is not a circular list.
How will you check it is pointing to itself? Because node 1 will point to node 2, node 2 will point to node 3, and you will iterating infinitely.
Sure. Okay, uh, I think I will take a 1 minute break.
Okay.
Okay, the question you asked, how will I able to identify whether it is circular or not,
Because you are only
right?
given one node as the input.
So linked lists generally do uh, have a pointer that is pointing to the next one. So are you saying that there is no pointer or something like that?
No,
Is
no,
it the
you are given only one pointer to a node as the input parameter, and you have to say it is circular or not. So have you solved this type of problem before?
sorry, I don't think I have
Okay, you
enough
can
knowledge
check
about
this
linked lists.
later. These problems are available in lead code or other places. So we can go to our next question. Do you know the time complexity of binary search?
Yes, give log of n
Okay. Log of n for what? Which operation?
for searching.
So can it be n for any corner case in binary search?
Can it be n?
Can it be more than
What
log of n in binary search?
if the elements are the amount of elements is very small, for example, one element or two elements, it can be more than log of n.
Okay, thank you. So let's say we want to build a library management system, and there can be many books in a library. So whenever any student asks for a book, for example, a student is telling, I want to read the book named physics, and which data structure can we use to make the searching faster in the for the library management system? Because if there are, for example, 1 lakh books, we don't want to search through all the 1 lakh books for finding any specific book. So how will you design it?
Okay, as we want to implement the search faster, as fast as we can I can think of two solutions. I mean, solution is basically one, but the implementation can be, I think there are two ways. One, I can define, I can assign IDs along with the book identity, so that I have a increasing order of IDs, for example, one, two, three, as an example, so that I can implement the binary search. And other way around is the naming of the book itself. If I sort it in the ascending order, I think by using binary search, I can search the books efficiently.
Okay, for the first solution you said that you will assign a ID. For example,
Yes,
book physics have ID 5. But when a student comes to find a book, he will not say you give me a book by ID 5. He will say the name. So the binary search will
yes.
not work because you don't know the ID of the book. So the second solution will work if you sort it by ascending order.
No, I would like to add a point because uh, if I uh, oh, well, do you mean that if I assign ID, then I will have to find out the ID uh, explicitly? Did you mean so?
How will you know the ID
Because
of a book?
I won't, but I think I can find it. Or I think it will in I mean, inside it will, I think, again search because along with the book name, the ID will be assigned. So, but yes, you are correct because I will have to, if I assign ID, I will have to again search for the ID. So I think naming according to the book will be much better.
Or another
Yes.
solution I like is if I separate the books by the capital first letter of each book. For example, there are 26 letters in alphabet. So I am already dividing all the books in 26 parts. So by watching the first letter of a book name, I can uh, find the book little
Yes.
faster, but it will still be ON, I think, because it is only divided by 26, not log n.
Yes.
Okay, so we can go to Amor's questions. Do you know about recursion?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I have given a doc to you, Google Doc. Can you open the doc and share your screen? Can you share your screen?
Yes. Is it visible?
Yes, yes, it is visible. So I am writing a question. So can you solve it? And can you try the solution? So at first try to read the question, and if you want to try it, you can try.
Okay. So if I am given a number 1, 2, 3,
It can be any integer number.
if I am given a number and if I have to print the digits, uh, I don't think I will use recursion, but if I have to print the substrings or something like that,
No, this
then
problem is
maybe I will.
you have to use recursion to print the numbers. This is the problem.
Okay, then if I am bound to use recursion, then uh, okay, I can give it a try.
You can write normal pseudocode. The syntax don't have to be correct.
Mm, okay, don't have edit access.
Okay, edit access. Share. Oh, sorry. I think now you can write here. If you refresh the page, I have updated the access.
Okay, thank you. So let's call a function, I mean recur. which will take an input of integer, for example, say x, and what I'll have to do is to return the number, and it will return an integer, so it will be an int.
You can just print like
And
console log. You don't have to return it. Like normal console dot write.
mm, oh, if I don't return it, then it won't be recursion, I guess.
No, for this problem, I don't need any output in the response. I only need to see the output in console. Only print the
Uh,
result.
okay. So I am taking a number as an integer, and what I will do is I will give, I will take the input, and along with the input, I will send the size of the input. So I will iterate the indexes of the number. Well, if the number is given to me as an integer, I think uh, I will I will use the division or the modulo operator
So
if
can you try
it
it
was
here?
given in.
Can you try it in
Okay.
4 to 5 minutes, or you want to move to another question?
Okay, sure. I think this is the answer. Sorry, I think there is some mistake. Uh, Besides returning the modulo, I will have to also divide the number by 10.
So can you show me what will be the output line by line, by like debugging? So for the first time, when we are calling console.log recur input sz, what will happen? Can you explain?
Okay, when I'm taking the input as x, I will I will check if it is divisible by 10 or not. If the number is 0, it won't be divisible by 10.
So I want
So
to
if it
know,
is not,
okay, so for the first time, x equal to 1 to 3. And what is the value of sz?
sz will be 3, the size of the input.
So you want to,
I think
so then what will happen?
I I think sz I haven't used sz because first I think I will handle it as a string because numbers can be uh, converted into strings. But then I realized if it is not string, if I handle it by number, then I don't need actually this thing actually.
So I am removing the sz. Now if we look at the solution,
Yes,
at first when x
yes.
will be 1 to 3, what will happen here? Can you explain? Like how will the console log work to get my output?
Okay, the output I don't think the output will be 1, 2, 3. it will, okay, let me try it
What will be
once
the
more. I think
output of your
there
code?
is some.
Can you tell what will be the output of this code?
Okay, I can tell. So first of all, the 1, 2, 3 will get in the input, and x divided by 10. X divided by 10 won't be equal to 0, so it will execute the next line. X divide equal 10. So the number will be divided by 10, and then x will be 12.
Well,
X yes, x will be 12, and it will return the modulo by 10, which will be 2, which is not actually correct one. The problem is before returning the modulo, I am dividing the number. So that is why it is not going to give us the right result, accurate result.
so you can
The
use console.log inside of this recursion if you want to use it.
okay, then okay, I'm doing it. So if for example, I will use console.log here x. So do you want me to print 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1? Does the chronology or the sequence matter? 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1 will be okay.
Yes, if you can print 3 to 1, then you can also change the code later to 1 to 3.
Okay, if I want to uh, mm,
If you want to
print
try
1,
3 to
2,
1,
3,
you can try it. Or if you want to try 1 to 3, try any one, 1 to 3 or 3 to 1.
okay, let me try. Then console log, then I will have to modulo it, and after moduling it, then I will divide it by 10, and I will return it. So this will be my corrected code, I guess.
So here at first 3 will be printed, then 2, then 1.
Yes, I hope so.
Okay, so you can try later that how can we convert the problem into printing 1 to 3 also.
Okay, I can try it now, but I think we should move to the next problem.
Yes. So do you know about palindrome?
Yes, I do.
Yes. I am giving another problem. Please read the problem statement and tell your solutions. You don't have to write all the code.
Okay, so palindrome is basically a string which is similar if we count it from forward or backward. I mean, it will be the same. If we check the digits, check the letters from doesn't matter from forward or from
So
backward.
in this problem, you
And
have to check a palindrome, a string is palindrome or not.
okay, I think I can write the code in 1 minute, I guess.
Yes, you can
I
write,
think
but please do
it
it
will.
quickly. We are running out of time.
Okay, sure. So for palindrome, it will be so S is the string.
So what is the time complexity of your solution? I understand the code.
Okay, the time complexity will be O of n, big of n.
For n. So is there any bad
Yeah, basically,
solution for this problem, which is more than O of n? For it, I have written worst to best case. What you have written this code is a very good solution, like optimized solution. which complexity is linear. Is there any bad solution where complexity will be in a square or something like bad solution?
I think there is. Well, I haven't done it before, but I think if I use two loops or two back-to-back loops, for example, for loop for the first one, and then I check the string from the backwards. If I use two loops, I think it will be a worse solution.
Okay, there is another solution is if we stringify it and reverse the string, then we can check equal or not. Like
Okay.
convert the number into string, then we reverse the string, which is also O of n, then we check if two strings are equal, then true or false. Okay, your solution is correct. As we are running out of time, we can ask only one or two questions and end our today's session. Have you worked with tree graph algorithms?
Yes, I have worked with graph algorithms, but not much about tree algorithms.
Let's say you have been given a graph with as input. In a problem, you have given a graph, you have to identify the graph is a tree or not. Have you worked with this type of set problems? Like how to tell a graph is a tree or not?
Okay. So is the graph directed or non-directed?
Directed or non-directed? Let's say directed.
Okay. So basically the definition of a tree is there will be a root node and there can be at least, at max two nodes from the two child nodes from the parent node. So if I have to check whether a graph is a tree or not, I will have to check if there is a node, at least a node, which doesn't have an in degree, and all the rest of the nodes should have, and all the rest of the nodes cannot have more than two in degrees. Then it will be a tree.
But some nodes can have zero child node. For example, the last nodes of a tree, leaf node, what we say. There will be nodes with zero child.
Yes, then it will be the neat leaf nodes.
Then how will
No
you
problem
tell
at
the
all.
graph is a tree or not?
The graph will be a tree as long as the nodes doesn't have more than one in degree, one edge coming towards them. There cannot be more than one in degree or one edge coming towards them.
Okay, so can graph be cyclic?
Yes, graphs can be cyclic.
And can tree be cyclic? Can tree have cycles?
Can tree have cycles? I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is a fundamental uh, logic that trees cannot be cyclic
Yes.
as
So this is a
I think
solution you can check that as tree cannot have cycle, but graph can have cycle. So if you start checking that if the graph has not cycle, then you can call it a tree. And if the graph
okay.
has any cycle, then it is not a tree. And if it is, if it has a cycle, then it is not a tree. So this can be a solution for it.
Okay.
So
This is
as
a
we are running out of time, we are not going into more questions. Otherwise, we could have asked more and more questions. You can practice interview questions on lead code, or lead code is more popular for interview problems. So do you have anything to ask or any feedback? You can turn off your screen.
I don't have. Okay, sure.
Okay, so if you have anything to ask, you can
Well,
tell.
Well, from my side, I think the interview was smooth, and I want to know about my experience, about my performance, as it is, I think, my very first interview. So I would like to hear about myself
Okay,
and why.
some of the questions you did really good, and few questions you were confused. For example, what I asked today about graph tree, circular linked list, you can practice this more in lead code. You will not find these problems in code forces because these that problems are mostly like thinking problems. But for the interview problems related to data structures, you have to practice on lead code more and more because code forces don't give us that type of problems. So that will be my advice. So if you want to take interview preparation. And otherwise, rest of the questions you did really good answers, optimized answers. So I don't have anything more to say. So if you don't have anything more to ask, we can end today's session. Thank you, Khalid bhai. Thank you for joining. See you do good in your future interviews.
Thank you very much.